Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm Em and welcome to episode 2 of book series Bingo. If you missed episode 1, of course I will link it down below if you want to go check it out. This is what our bingo board currently looks like. I don't feel like I need to explain this video concept. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. However, I am trying to black out this bingo board by the end of the year. And June is Pride Month, obviously, but it is also Clear Your Shit Month, which is a readathon that I participate in where the goal is to read down your physical TBR. So for this month's episode of Book Series Bingo, I am going to be focusing on reading the sequels that I already own. And I know which book I am going to start with. I am going to start with Saint Death's Herald by C.S.E. Cooney. This is the sequel to Saint Death's Daughter, which was one of my absolutely most favorite books that I read back in 2023. It was on my top 10. I like to describe this series as if Gideon the Ninth liked pink sparkle and rainbows. The setup is we have Lainey, who is a necromancer and has a literal allergy to violence. So anytime she has to deal with her necromancy, because so much of death revolves around violence, she has an allergic reaction to using her powers. And this book was so fun. It took so many turns that I wasn't expecting, and I could read you the synopsis on the back, but the synopsis on the back is maybe like this much of the book, and it just went in so many fun directions. It was so unexpected. I loved the characters, I loved the writing, I loved Delaney, and book 2 just came out in April, and I need to read it because if I don't, my husband is going to read it before I do, and I don't want that. For whatever reason, like, he can't read it first. I need to read it first. I think it's probably like an oldest child tendency that's like rearing its ugly head, but regardless, I'm going to start with this book so that I can read it. It is quite a bit shorter than Saint Death's Daughter, so I don't know what's that about. Makes me a little nervous, but I am really excited to be back with Lainey, though I don't remember a ton of the more intricate plot details in Saint Death's Daughter, so let's hope it's not fully necessary for me to remember what happened. Let's dive in. Okay, this video has not gone the way I envisioned. First of all, I am sick, so if I look awful, because that's how I feel. But my house is quiet, and I have some like restless energy because this is like day 3 of not feeling well, and I'm so tired of resting. But like, I also don't have energy to do anything else. But I can sit and yap and edit out coughing fits. So we're just gonna roll with it. It took me all month to read Saint Death's Herald. All month. Not what I planned. And part of the reason it took me all month is because I didn't love it the way I loved book 1. Saint Death's Daughter was just, it was so unexpected. Oh, I'll go get it. Saint Death's Daughter was just so unexpected. And the synopsis on the back, like, this stuff happens, but but this is not all that happens. There's so much more plot to the book than what is on the back, and I really love Lainey's character, her kindness, her empathy, the ridiculous things that she says. Like, I think C.S.E. Cooney's writing is not like anybody else's. It's just really lyrical and sometimes poetic and sometimes ridiculous, but just nobody writes the way she does, and I absolutely loved it. I love the found family aspect of this book, and I was just, I mean, it's a chunker. How long is it? It's over 600 pages, and it's one of those books that I just never, ever wanted to end. I just wanted it to go on for forever and ever and ever. So I had been highly anticipating Saint Death's Herald coming out this year, and while I didn't dislike it, I don't even know that I knew I had expectations for what it would be, but this is not what I imagined. This is not C.S.E. Cooney's fault, but she did my least favorite thing in series. Hannah Kaner does this in the God Killer series. I can't remember what it's called, but she does this in Sunbringer as well. Makes me so sad because they build this beautiful found family in book 1 that I am obsessed with and love having together, and they make me so happy. And then in book 2, they separate, and usually it is the main character is off on her own and she doesn't have her community around her anymore, and she's having to figure out stuff on her own. So I really don't like that. I just want them together all the time, and I get upset when they're apart and I don't understand, and I'm like a 3-year-old who just doesn't understand why her favorite people can't be together all the time. So that was one thing. And then the other thing is that this was kind of boring in the middle. I think it definitely suffered from second book syndrome. Now, I am giving this a 3.75 because I still love the writing. I still think C.S.E. Cooney's writing is gorgeous. I think Lainey is such a fun main character, and the way she is allergic to violence, whether it is inflicted by someone else or inflicted by her, and she has like echo wounds of that violence on her body. And so it makes being a necromancer really difficult, but she is favored by her god. Like, it's called Saint Death's daughter for a reason. Like, Saint Death really favors Lainey, and she's so powerful, and so it's a real interesting combination of all this power, but then this handicap to fully utilizing her power. So I still love all those. I love the characters. They just weren't together until the end. And the end, I had a great time. Because the end, they come back together and it's great. There is also this thing in the middle, without spoiling anything for book one. In this book, Lainey is trying to hunt down a character from book one. And part of hunting down that character, like a malevolent character, and part of hunting that character down is this like battle royale, not Hunger Games, but like cage match. It's like a cage match. And it goes on for forever. And it feels so not like Lainey. Like, Lainey would not do this. Like, isn't there another way for this character to be apprehended? And it just went on and on and on. And I like put this down for like a week and a half during that part. It was such a struggle to read. So I'm so bummed. I'm still going to continue on with the series. There's going to be one more book. Obviously, I want to see where we go from here. I do regret that I didn't reread Saint Death's Daughter before picking this up, but I think I can't reread every book one before I continue on in this series. I mean, ideally, yes, of course. And I think probably I would have maybe enjoyed this one more if I had rolled from book one right into book two. I think when book three comes out, I will probably reread the whole series just so that I can remember everything, because I was struggling to remember who certain characters were and what the relationship with Lainey was. I didn't fully remember a lot of people's names, so I definitely think a reread also would have helped. But yay, we finally got a book done. And I was looking at the bingo board earlier, now that we can knock a book off. And I could be strategic and pick a book to get a bingo, like the Oleander Sword, or to attempt a bingo going in another direction now that I've like introduced another column with Saint Death's Herald. But I'm gonna choose the chaos method because we're still keeping the theme of this video, even though June is basically over. I have one day left, and which means Clear Shit is basically over. I'm still gonna continue on with the theme of reading the series, of reading the sequels that I already own. But my brain needs something gentle today, or for this week, as I like recover from being unwell and fight against like the congestion fueled brain fog. And I'm gonna read The Wild Robot Escapes by Peter Brown. This is a middle grade sequel to The Wild Robot. I love The Wild Robot. I've read it twice now, so I think I'll probably be okay not having reread it. Usually once I read a book twice, the details are pretty locked in and I don't have to worry about forgetting a lot of things anymore. But yeah, I've read The Wild Robot twice, and I've seen the movie, which is very different in a lot of ways. And I need to keep going. And this will be, I think, a really quick read. The chapters are super short. There are illustrations that take up a big chunk of pages, and it's middle grade. Middle grade's always a quick read. And some of the chapters are even, where'd that one go? Like, some of the chapters are not even like a paragraph of text. So I think this will be a quick read, and it will make me feel good about myself. And then once I finish this, I promise I will dive into something a little bit more big brain energy. Maybe I'll finally pick up the Oleander Sword, but I'm not making any promises because you know how I am about dodging that book. But yeah, okay, this is for real though. this is not going to take me a month to finish. All right, we're going to make progress on this vlog because I want it to go up in July. Okay. I finished The Wild Robot Escapes, and I don't love this as much as I love the first one. I even talked to my oldest about it because they have read this whole series and they didn't like it as much either. So I feel good about not loving it as much. I'm giving it a 3.5. I feel like in this one, Peter Brown is over explaining a lot of things to his readers and not giving kids credit for being smart enough, or I don't know. There were just some points where he would say something and something that was pretty straightforward and then go on to explain it for a sentence or two. And it just felt like he was talking down to kids a little bit. At times it felt a little bit preachy and I just didn't love it as much. So The Wild Robot, if you haven't seen the movie or read the book, it's about a robot named Roz who crash lands on this island where there are only animals, and she learns how to communicate with animals and ends up adopting a gosling named Brightbill and raising him. And then the other human civilization discovers that there is a rogue robot, or a wild robot, if you will, on this island, and they send other robots to bring her back because they believe she's defective. I don't know how much I should not spoil the book. How many of you who read middle grade have not read The Wild Robot yet or haven't seen the movie? The movie does end slightly differently than the book does, but not in a big way. But anyways, things happen at the end of book one. And in this one, Roz wakes up at the beginning and she has been sent to help this farm run. And so the first half of the book is Roz on this farm, and it's an interesting look into the future of how humanity doesn't have to work as hard anymore because of robots, and shows how much robots are used in agriculture and manufacturing and things like that. And then the other half is Roz and Brightbill trying to escape back to the island. And it was fine. It was fine. Not my favorite. My oldest did say that they liked book 3 more than they liked this one. So I will continue because we already have it and they're such quick reads. I could have read this in one sitting, but I got sleepy because I'm still a little sick. I feel so much better today, but I'm still a little under the weather. We gotta pick one more book for this video because now I feel like this video is a little bit cursed and I need it to end so that I can reset and have the next one be better. And I am, in case you didn't already guess, I'm not going to read Oleander Sword. I am not going to close out a bingo, even though I think in the first episode of this I did say the goal would be to get a bingo every video. Boy, is that gone out the window fast. Mostly because it is currently July 1st and Summerween starts on the 5th. And I don't want to be rushing through a fantasy book to finish it so that I don't have any other obligations when it's time for Summerween. I just want to be able to dive in to all the spooky ooky books and not be frantically trying to finish a fantasy on the side, because I did that for all of June during Clear Your Shit and I don't want to do that again. Did I call Summerween Clear Your Shit at the beginning of that sentence? Okay. It's the end of the day. The brain fog is really getting to me. So what my heart wants and what I think I'm going to do, because that's how I'm feeling right now, is to read the next book in whatever this series is called. What is this series called? Who knows? Don't know, don't care. I mean, I care, but I want to read The Geographer's Map to Romance by India Holton, because if you saw my wrap up for June, it was kind of a meh month. There were some books I really liked. There were also books that I didn't like, and there were a lot of books that were just fine. And I need a love. I need a book I'm going to love. And The Ornithologist's Field Guide to Love was 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. This is a historical romance with light fantasy elements. And this one was about 2 ornithologists who were in this competition. And so they were kind of rivals, but also not. And this is just 2 dummies falling in love. And I ate it up. I absolutely loved it. It's silly. It's over the top. It's very self-aware in all the best possible ways. And I want a silly, goofy time. So I believe this one is Failed Marriage of Convenience. We're doing another professor, well, 2 professors. I love academics. 2 professors who get married for reasons, and then you fast forward a year and I don't know, stuff happens. We'll see. We'll see. But what did this get comped to? I feel like somebody said, is this Indiana Jones? Oh yeah, Julia Quinn. funny, cozy romantasy with a splash of Indiana Jones. So yeah, sounds like a good time. Sounds like I will be living, laughing, loving. And then we can end this vlog with hopefully a 5-star. That'd be so great. But I'm going to stop talking now because I'm about to start coughing and get to reading. Let me tell you what a good decision it was to pick up the Geographer's Map to Romance. I'm only on chapter 3 or 4, and it's so fun. It's so fun. So we meet Elodie right off the get-go, right from the jump. How do I talk about books? And she's gotten this telegram because there's been like a magical event in Wales, and she's a professor at Oxford. And so she sent a telegram to ask to come out and inspect because there's been a lot of damage and the magical like fey lines are unstable and it's in her field of expertise. Unfortunately, there are 2 Professor Tarrants at Oxford, and the telegram is copied and also sent to her estranged husband. And then we get a little bit of a flashback to a year ago when they decided to get married for very flimsy reasons. Gabriel, her husband, he needed to find new housing and wanted to get into this house, but the landlady would only accept a married couple, and Elodie was looking for a little bit more respect among her professional colleagues, and so they decided to get married. And then when they go to move in, they find out that the landlady has already leased the apartment to a bachelor. And Elodie makes kind of an offhanded comment of like, that was the whole reason we got married, even though like the first 2 days of their marriage have gone very well. And Gabriel gets mad and storms off, and they haven't really talked to each other since. They've been avoiding each other. So very flimsy miscommunication, but you know what? It's fine. I don't care. I'm having such a good time. So Elodie and Gabriel are both heading towards Wales to investigate this magical disaster. And it's really fun. It's really fun. It's very silly. It's goofy, but it's just, the writing is so good. The characters are delightful. And I love a silly, goofy book that is like really aware of how silly, goofy it is and isn't taking itself too seriously and really like leans in to the camp. It's just so fun. So I'm really delighted with my choice and excited to keep going and really hoping for like the tension between the 2 of them to slowly build. Elodie is a delightful character. She's chaotic, a little bit of a mess, but also like extremely competent in what she does, like an expert in her field. That's the thing I think I like so much about this series is the love interests are both experts in the same field, but approach their expertness in very different ways, where Elodie is very natural and chaotic and maybe impulsive a little bit, and Gabriel is much more buttoned up, methodical, very serious. And I'm really hoping Elodie like starts unraveling his seriousness soon, because I love when a straight-laced button-up man starts to unravel a little bit because of a woman. Oh, that's my favorite. So yeah, I'm gonna continue on, but I just wanted to come in and let you know how happy I am about this choice. I'm 168 pages into the book. I'm still loving it. I'm having such a grand time. I would really love to reread both of these books, maybe next year or whenever book 3 is about to come out, I'll reread. And I just want to highlight every time something's delightful. I'm gonna highlight so much if that's my like thing that I'm going for, but it's so delightful. It's so fun. And it's honestly my favorite thing And I understand, like, my feminism just leaves my body every time this happens, but every time Gabriel says my wife, and Elodie, like, cannot contain how much she loves it. It's all in her head. She doesn't say anything out loud, but every time he refers to her as his wife and does it in like a kind of defensive way or like a territorial way or anything like that, she just swoons internally, and she understands it's a problem. I understand it's a problem, but boy, oh boy, do I love it. I think I've said this already, but if I haven't, I love nothing more than a man being unwound by a woman. It's so great. I love it so much. So yeah, I'm having a great time. This is just, it's so fun. It's so funny. It's so silly, but in really smart, self-aware way. And I just love them. I just love them. I love Elodie. I love Gabriel. I love them together. I will say, I don't know how much I have gotten to know Gabriel. Like, I don't know that his character is as well developed because he is standoffish and cranky and not as boisterous as Elodie is. So I don't know that he is as fully fledged a hero as Devin is in book one, but my kind of standard for a romance novel is that the guy I can kind of take or leave, but the girl I need to have a crush on her and want to be her best friend in order for a romance novel to work for me. And then the guy just has to like be a simp for her. And if I have those two things, then I'm happy. And Gabriel isn't full simp, but you can tell he's just fighting it. He is there. He's just not willing to give in quite yet. And waiting for him to give in is half the fun of reading this book. So I'm having a great time. It's so good. If you have not read this series yet and you're a romance reader, like, oh, what are you waiting for? It's so good. It's so good. I finished it. I finished the Geographer's Map to Romance last night, and this is so nitpicky. So nitpicky. I understand that. It's a 4.75. I think I'm going to round it up to 5 because a 4.75 is just like, what's the point? Just round it up or round it down. I love this, I think, just as much as An Ornithologist's Field Guide to Love. I debated, do I love this more? It's so hard for me to tell. There were a lot of dynamics in here that I really like. There are tropes in here that are some of my favorites. When, Ornithologist's Field Guide to Love really played with the only one bed trope, but in the more than one bed. That was a big theme in that book. There was always more than one bed, even though Devin and Beth were like constantly trying for there to be an only one bed situation, and there's just like a plethora of beds. Everybody had plenty of places to sleep. And in this one, there are no beds, or they want to have a bed and are going to have to like confront the like only one bed trope, but then something happens and they don't end up getting to sleep in the bed anyways. And these books are just such a good time. I love them so much. I know it's really chaotic that I keep just picking books that don't get me a bingo in this series, but I love this book so much. It's so good. It's so sweet. I'm so happy I read it and I chose chaos. And maybe for the next episode, I will be more organized and more focused, but that was not this episode. I also feel like this episode is a little cursed since it took me so very long to complete. But here is our standing with the bingo board. I will use the break in between filming this series to come up with an actual plan. I promise. And I hope you enjoyed this, even though I feel like it was a little bit of a mess and maybe not my best vlogging work, but that's okay. We do the best we can. If you would like to leave an emoji to let me know you made it to the end of the video. Is there a map emoji? Oh, do the location pin emoji. And like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to, and I'll talk to y'all in the next one. Bye.